warned you not to break our mirror, but you didn't listen. Oh, consequences! Consequences will fall upon you.
And the voices that was talking through Ekene stopped, and Ekene fell on the ground and she fainted. Ekene, Ekene, are you okay? Ekene woke up immediately and shouted, "Oh my God, what happened?" And Oluchi said, "You were under the control of evil spirits, and I think you are okay now." And Oluchi said, "Pastor, I'm afraid." And the pastor asked, "What mirror did you have in your shop?" And Oluchi answered, "I bought a red mirror from a shop, and Ekene broke it mistakenly, and I don't even know what it does. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on, Pastor." "It's okay," the pastor said. "I will pray for the two of you, and when you get to your shop, make sure that you break that mirror," the pastor said. And he prayed for both of them, and they went home that night. Ekene was scared to go home alone, and she decided to spend the night at Oluchi's house. "Oluchi, where did you get that mirror from? I think you should return it back," Ekene said. "Who will take back something that has been broken? I think we should just burn it, just as Pastor Matthew had advised us," Oluchi said. The person who sold it to you, did she tell you about what the mirror does?" Ekene asked. "Wait, I just remembered now. The woman who sold it to me, she said it will cost me more, and the spirits who spoke through you said the mirror belongs to them," Oluchi said. "Wait, what? Really?" Ekene asked in surprise. "Yes, and I think we should visit there tomorrow on our way to shop and ask her about the mirror," Oluchi said. "That's a good idea, so that we can find out and end this for once," Ekene said. And so they both agreed to visit the shop Oluchi bought the mirror from the next day. And when it was morning, Oluchi and Ekene went to the shop where they sell mirror, only for them to discover that it was closed. Oluchi was shocked at that moment, and she said, "But I came here 2 months ago. How come it's closed now?" "So how are we going to find the woman now?" Ekene asked. "Well, let's just go and do what Pastor said. The less we worry, the better for us," Oluchi said. And so they went back to the shop, and immediately they got there, the door of the shop was opened. Oluchi was confused how the door got opened, and when they got inside, they discovered that all the items in the shop was missing, and it was as if the shop was robbed. Oluchi fell on her knees in the front of the broken mirrors with tears on her face, and that was the beginning of the consequences. Oluchi cried. She was sad because everything she had ever worked for was gone overnight. Nobody knew what happened. Even her neighbors could not answer when she asked, and Oluchi said, Why is it just me? Why didn't they take others?" Ekene was sad at the same time because that was the only job she had as she was working together with Oluchi. Oluchi went into the shop and sat down for about 10 minutes. She was thinking about what happened to her, and while she was thinking, Ekene called their pastor at that moment. "Hello? Pastor, something unbelievable have happened." "What? What do you mean? What happened?" the pastor asked. "It's Oluchi. A shop. I've been robbed. They took everything," Ekene said. "What? How can that be?" I don't know, Pastor. It's okay. Let me see what I can do. Let me think of something. I will get back to you," the pastor said. And Oluchi started talking to herself. She said, "How can this be? Can this be the cause of the mirror?" And then Oluchi got up immediately and she poured flammable substance on the mirror and she burnt it that morning. Oluchi did not know the next step to follow. Her neighbors who was around started talking about her. They said, "Who would have imagined something like this would happen to Madam Oluchi? Where will she even start from now?" And another said, Madam Oluchi, quick to rise, quick to fall. Abi, have her charm stopped working?" Oluchi spent all she had on the salon and wig shop, and the money she had left was not enough to buy more wigs and material for her shop, and so she went back to borrow another money from Lapo so that she can keep up with the business. And when she collected the money, she replaced all that was missing in her shop, and she hoped that what happened to her shop won't be repeated again. However, the witches of the seventh coven had different plans for her. Oluchi's customers began to reduce. Even when some of them would come to make their hair, they would complain that Oluchi made a mistake with their hair, and because of that, they would say, "We won't come next time." And so many of them stopped coming to Oluchi's shop, and it became a nightmare for Oluchi. And because she was not getting much customers like she normally used to, she was not able to meet up with the monthly repayment of the loan she took from Lapo. One afternoon, one of the members of the Lapo visited Oluchi's shop to ask when will she repay back the money she took, because they have not heard from her for some time. She said, "Madam Oluchi, why have you not been taking our calls? When will you pay back the money you borrowed?" The woman said. "Business have not been going well for days now. I will come soon," Oluchi said. "You will come soon?" "Soon is not a date," the Lapo woman said. "We give you 1 month. If we don't hear from you, we will seize all your goods until you are able to pay back," the woman said. "Wait, you can't do that. I am a top loan member," Oluchi said. And while Oluchi was talking to the woman, she walked out of Oluchi's shop. Even though Oluchi was a top member of the Lapo Union, she was supposed to be in contact with the union, but because of the shocking incident that happened to her, she was not able to. Oluchi did not know how to go about it, as that is part of her consequences. Meanwhile, the witches of the seventh coven were discussing among themselves.
Mother, we dealt with her. Our consequences have begun.
And the queen mother said,
Don't worry, my children. She will lose everything she have ever accomplished, and the greater consequences shall fall upon her.
"Oluchi, what are we going to do now that members of the Lapo wants to collect back their money?" Ekene said. "To be honest, I don't know." "Ekene, what do you have in mind?" Oluchi asked. "I don't know if it's a good idea, but why don't we sell some of the wigs and other materials in the shop and use the money to pay back to Lapo, and we start all over again? You see, it is better to have peace of mind than for the members of the Lapo Union to be on our neck every day," Ekene said. "Ekene, I don't understand. What do you mean, start all over again? Where are we going to start from?" Oluchi said. "Oluchi, think about it. At this point, we will still lose everything if we are not able to pay back in one more time," Ekene said. "My God, why have this happened to me? What have I done to deserve this?" Oluchi said. And when Oluchi got home at night, she couldn't sleep. She was thinking about what Ekene said to her about selling the materials and some of the wigs she have to repay back the money she borrowed from Lapo. And as she lay on her bed, facing upwards, a voice came out of thin air saying,
Come to us, child. All you need is come to us, and we shall give you what you desire.
And Oluchi got up immediately and said, "Who is there? What? Who is talking to me?" Oluchi ran into the bathroom and locked herself inside, and the voices started laughing.
We will not stop until you submit to us.
Oluchi ran out of the house, being scared, and was breathing heavily. She called Ekene, but Ekene was not picking up the calls, and she walked that night to her shop in the cold night all by herself, and she slept off. The next morning, Ekene was walking towards the shop when she saw Oluchi sleeping close to the door, and she ran quickly to her and woke her up. "Oluchi, what are you doing out here? Did you sleep outside? What happened?" Ekene asked. And Oluchi said, "Ekene, they have come back. The evil spirits." "What?" Ekene said in surprise. "Yes, they started laughing, and they said something that I should submit to them. This is not good. We need to inform Pastor Matthew," Ekene said. "Ah, yes, We need to, but first, let's go ahead and sell these wigs. Time is going, Oluchi said. Oluchi thought after she had burnt the mirror, the connection the witches had with her was cut off. However, that wasn't the case, and that morning, Ekene and Oluchi took the wigs and other hair materials to the market to sell, and they managed to sell half of it. Ekene, thank God we are able to sell half of these wigs. Oluchi, we are at loss. All these wigs, we bought them at high price. We sold them away, just like that. But why? Why did God do us like this? Ekene said. God, please, see us through this, Oluchi said. Oluchi took the money they made from selling the wigs and she went to Lapo to repay the loan she took. She was able to pay half of it, and she was given extra 1 month to complete the balance with interest. Oluchi went back to the shop and sat down quietly, thinking about the next step to follow, when she got a call from Pastor Matthew. Hello? Pastor, good evening, sir.
Madam Oluchi, how are you doing this evening?
I'm just thinking about life, Pastor. Who would ever imagine that I would end up like this? Don't say such a thing. God have a greater plan for you. I discussed with some of the evangelists in church, and we are able to contribute some money to help you out of this situation. You know, you have been a great contribution to the church, and we want to repay you with goodness. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Pastor. God will bless you. My God will reward you. My God will reward you, Pastor, Oluchi said as she cried. It's okay, Oluchi. The money will be ready, so by tomorrow you can come and collect it in church, the pastor said. Thank you, sir, Oluchi said. Don't thank me. Thank God. Yes, I thank God. Thank God, Oluchi said. Oluchi felt a great relief as Pastor Matthew told her to come to church and collect the money they contributed for her. She was not expecting such goodness before, but because of her great donations and pledge she made to the church, the pastor decided to help her from her situation. However, the situation of Oluchi was not ordinary.
Mother, they have decided to help her. Oh, that pastor will not mind his business. Let us teach him a lesson. Let there be consequences on him. Mother, oh, consequences.
The witches were angry because of the help the pastor offered to Oluchi, and because he have decided to help her, the witches decided that there shall be consequences.